Welcome you ladies to Nivesh Mahakumbh 2023. Now, this is going to be an exciting panel because we are talking about financial wellness, of course, but in particularly for women. I would like to start with you, Mitu. Mitu is the founder for Eminence Strategy Consulting. Now, I'd like to start by posing a question to you. You mentioned offline that financial wellness and retirement planning actually worked in your favor and helped you pursue your passion as an entrepreneur after working in the corporate world. Now, something that many of us aspire to achieve. Now, please tell our viewers that how financial planning helped you in particular, and how such planning is trickier for women compared to men. And if that's the case, then how can it be addressed more effectively?
Sure. Hi, everybody. My journey towards investment and financial planning started out almost like anybody else, who starts with the typical PPF, like you pointed out, gold and NSC, those kind of investment tools. And it was only after working for a few years when I joined a mutual fund company that I understood this whole concept of asset allocation, power of compounding, all these jargons started coming at us. And I realized, oh, what a big miss that as an investor, that we were doing. And soon enough, I happened to meet my financial advisor. In fact, I would call him my financial coach because he not only helped us in planning our money well and planning for our investment well, but more importantly, he instilled financial discipline in us. So every time that I chose to make a irrelevant investment option, like gold or anything like that, instead of gold ETF, say for instance, or whenever I chose to go for a more irrelevant spending option, he would tell me that me to always put it through the filter of needs versus want, that this decision is coming out of your need or your want. And it's very important that we be very rational in our investment decision making, and be very rational with the hard earned money that we have, and not get emotional about it. And the second important thing that he highlighted was the whole power of compounding, right? So insisted that we should never break our SIP, or we should never take, any of these investment disciplines lightly. And trust me, 20 years I have been investing in mutual funds as an investment tool, and not even a single break in any of my SIPs or any of my, plans to invest in the lump sum amounts as well. So that really helped. So I would say what helped me transition, one would be having that whole financial planning in place. Second, having that financial discipline again instilled in me through the guidance of a perfect financial advisor. A great combination of these three really helped me move towards financial independence. And just answering your question on, is it really different for men or women? I would say if you have the right advisor, it's not really different for men or women. Actually, I would say that being a woman becomes an advantage because there is a societal stereotype that men are the providers for the family, right? So then what do you do with your own income? You invest prudently, you invest wisely and consistently. So all these three help me as an investor.
Thank you so much, Mitu, for that lovely answer. And financial mentor on board, if one can get the right guidance to come out of this very traditional mindset towards investment that we typically have, I think that's a great point to be taken away from this answer. Now, I would like to steer the conversation towards you, Preeti, who's the founder for Lakshmi. Now, Preeti, if you were to tell women who have no prior investing experience to start building a reservoir for their retirement, what would you recommend as the first steps, and what asset classes should they consider?
Thank you, Shobha, for this question, and thank you, Aditya Birla Capital and Hindustan Times for conducting this and actually having a segment for women. I think that is very exciting, and we are very, very grateful. And the fact that we are all women here on a panel is just, I think it goes to say that women are getting more and more active with their money management skills. To your question, look, I think, before we even start with all of this, there's one important pertinent point that I'd like to say. I think I just heard Meetu, and I think Meetu is one of those really fortunate women to be a part of it, to be part of the industry and really learn this whole piece of investing, compounding, SIPs early on, right? But what we've seen across the board is that typically women retire with 1/10 the wealth that men do. You mentioned a lot of points like gender pay gap and career peaks, etc. But most importantly, it's because of the investment decisions they take of the money that they've earned. Most of this money being in fixed deposits and gold. And to me, I think that should be a beginning point for a woman to realize that she's actually retiring towards poverty if she's not making the right decisions with her money. When women come to Lakshmi and we help them start their retirement planning, we actually do something known as the Financial Fitness Boot Camp. And the one thing that we stress on is that, cut out all the noise, because what we hear is women telling us, I don't have the time to research, so much. And how do I decide which mutual fund, etc. And we actually tell them that cut out all the noise and begin with an asset allocation strategy as you build your fund as you build your retirement fund, right? And the younger you are, the more heavier you should be on equity. By the way, we always recommend that do it through mutual funds, whichever asset class, use mutual funds as a tool, because it's a very effective tool, especially for somebody who is not an active stock investor, etc. So say, for example, if you're in your early 20s and 30s, actually early 20s, the minute you start earning is when you should start building your retirement fund. The heavier you put, the more money, you put towards equity, and you put some amount of money towards debt and gold. I think between these three things, your retirement planning is done. And as you grow older, you actually start moving money from equity slowly into debt, because asset allocation is actually the most critical tool that you need to follow. A lot of women actually don't start their investment journey because they worry that, oh my God, I don't know which fund. I don't know what equity means. I don't know what debt means. I think just a basic knowledge about these three asset classes, start with mutual funds. Like I said, heavier allocation towards equity as you're younger. There are thumb rules available, but I always say those are thumb rules. Personal finance has to be personalized to you. But a good beginning point is, say you are 20, then 80%, 100 minus 20. So 80% of your investment should go into equity. And as you grow older, if you're 40, then you move more money towards debt to give you the more sort of stable returns. So that's how, I would recommend, and really sort of make it very simple, because actually your retirement planning can be very, very simple.
An investor education and awareness initiative of Aditya Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund. Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme related documents.